This is pretty much the best series on my channel, in which I take a fun game and I combine it with programming to have an adventure style progression video. And RuneScape is one of my favorite games, so its time has finally come. If you're worried about cheating or botting or want to do the same yourself, then read this disclaimer. And now let's get into it. We're gonna do a group Iron Man, meaning that we need to collect every resource ourselves and we cannot trade with other people, just the people in the group. Our adventurers started off strong by safe spotting a boar on Tutorial Island using the power of teamwork, and then attempting to take a group photo for 10 minutes. Bro, what is Hans doing? Oh my god, this area looks so bad.
This looks ass.
Okay, whatever, line up, let's take the picture. I got the authentic Asmongold experience from Beardy and we teamed up together while the other two went their separate ways. I bought everybody bonds after it was decided that my YouTube money was actually the group's YouTube money, and that was before I knew that my ads would be down for over 2 months. You know what, YouTube, I don't even need a career, I'll just live under a bridge with Ispilante and continue my art journey by drawing on H&M bags with coal. There's a bunch of random events that pop up and let you do an activity for a bunch of rewards. People usually just dismiss them because for most people it's pretty useless. The best one is the mysterious old man that rewards you for completing a maze within a time limit. Normally you want to speedrun to the center as fast as possible, but Beardy told me that apparently if I click on these chests and I wait for 60 seconds and click again, I get way more rewards because it doesn't actually tick down the cooldown. All I had to do was click once a minute, so obviously I wouldn't make a script for it. I made a script for it.
Imagine getting banned because of the maze event.
No, I'm using an undetected. Instead of just using a 60-second click loop, I did a pixel scanner on the chest. I just wanted to be all fancy for no reason. But hey, now it opens it immediately as it closes. Efficiency. After wasting more time finding this minecart shortcut than it would have taken me to walk by foot, I continued to do the Iron Man leveling guide. I proceeded to get lost in the Shazian area, and then set up Hyper-V so my scripts wouldn't hijack my mouse. Yay, Windows installation screen, part 15, yahoo! Then I put my nationality to work and I continued with Romanian activities. Then I made my way to the stronghold of security. This area was designed for somebody with the IQ of a Twitch chatter, so it would educate them on how to keep their account safe. If you complete it, you get quite a lot of money, which is pretty hard to get early on, so people usually do this. People also typically aim for the glowing chest in the middle of the room and the ladder that takes you forward. I, however, had to put my divine intellect to use and click on a random chain that took me back to the start of the area. What the fuck? The third one is also black? Wait, no, I just came...
You just came back?
No. Oh my...
No, fuck this video. I'm not gonna play SRS anymore.
Then I realized my channel hasn't been growing because I'm not a goth girl. If you can't beat them, join them. Mining is very boring, so it was time to automate it. The mechanism is pretty simple to add with pixel scanning. Then I needed something to clear my inventory and we were all set. Did you see that one video of the mod just completely misclicking everything while trying to drop inventory?
Yeah. That's a funny one.
Let's try. Now we can do mining AFK and automatically, and Beardy had to leave for 2 hours, so he had it running in the background. Afterwards, I rode some dripped out bird for my first trip to Valhalla, and then it was back to questing. My main goal right now is to do quests so I can unlock a lot of areas in the game, new items, and level up my skills efficiently. Making scripts and automating tasks will come later. I made my way to the middle of nowhere so I can do tourist traps. So I kill the general as instructed, I take his key as instructed, and then proceed to completely ignore the all caps text that tells me to unequip all my combat stuff. Because of that, I promptly get shoved in jail. I have to break out, and guess what? Now I have to kill him again. The problem is that he's quite tanky and I'm kinda running out of food. And if I want to get more food, I have to do the whole journey again. That's also the case if I die. In this game, hitting or missing is random. The amount of damage that you do is also random. So you can imagine how absolutely livid I was when I hit like 5 ones in a row. But there is a technique called a safe spot where if you move in the right way, he can't reach you or attack you. Get safe spotted, imbecile. Oh my god, you cannot. After my character took the phrase a hit and a miss a bit too literally, I ran out of food and now it was a game of chance. Now keep in mind he's 7 HP and my max hit is an 8.
Never back down, never what? Never give up! Let's go! Let's go!
Guess who needs to get all the items and walk all the way back again? Well, good luck this time, because I brought enough food to last an American about 12 seconds. Now I just have to talk to this guy to get his clothes and go undercover. Bro, what did I do?
You're stealing, right to jail. You're playing music too loud, right to jail.
Then just like 5th grade I used a barrel to kidnap Anna and I'm finally done with this godforsaken quest. Then I stray from the Iron Man quest guide and run around for about half an hour to finish Waterfall quest and get a huge boost in melee stats. While I was walking to Port Sarim, for no particular reason I started to whip out my League mechanics and just space glide a bunch of spiders. And then when I juked this guy around the tree I felt like exact on his 1 defense hardcore. We can all dream, can't we? Now I know what you're thinking. Yes, that too, but let's stay on topic. My plan was to do mining, and the last time I did it, I went into this area which had a bunch of scorpions. The problem is that they can attack and kill me, especially if I AFK. So what I need to do is get double their combat level so that they can't attack me and I can just mine in peace. It was at this point that I started considering that maybe me dropping out of university was more of natural selection than a choice. Well, there's no way around it, time to train combat. So it's time to get the gear. In order to flex my newly acquired maximum scale swag of the highest caliber, I had to aura farm slow walk like Michael Jackson from Demon Slayer. This move had absolutely nothing to do with stamina or run energy, I was just too cool. Okay, that's it, the cameraman is getting fired. Now it's time to slime some Oda blocks to get my combat level up. One thing that I didn't take into account is that these little fellas got hands. And then it hit me. I had no food, and so I ended up being the first person to ever prayer flick thick skin against a dwarf with an adamant pickaxe. And group Iron Man armor. But now with no HP and no food, I found myself in quite the situation. And then I found the ladder. So now because of the timing I can hit him, but he can't hit me back. I can't believe I'm ladder flicking a gnome with a pickaxe. Any last words? Or subscribe? No man, the other one. Oh, I hate doing code reviews. Nobody likes code reviews. More code is being produced by AI and humans alike, and teams spend hours just reading diffs instead of shipping features. CodeRabbit fixes that. It sits in your pull request flow and gives instant, context-rich review comments, plus the likely impact of each change. It doesn't just shout problems, it offers one-click fix suggestions and a prompt for AI agent option for tougher cases. One project-specific rules, define checks with AST grep patterns, and custom guidelines so CodeRabbit catches the subtle stuff linters miss. It pulls in dozens of signals, code graph, link tickets, linters, security scanners, and external context. So reviews are far more accurate than generic tools, and it learns from your replies. Every interaction creates learnings that make future reviews smarter for your code base and further increases your efficiency over time. Teams using CodeRabbit cut review time and bugs in half. It's already installed across 2 million repositories and used by thousands of organizations and open source projects. Use it in the browser, your IDE, or the CLI. The setup is 2 clicks and it will save you a lot of time. If you want fast code reviews that actually keep quality high, install CodeRabbit and get pre-merge confidence without slowing down. CodeRabbit is free for all open source repos. All of that fighting finally got me to combat level 29, and now I walk around these scorpions like I'm that guy. My aura is simply too strong for them to approach me. Bro, what? Ah, there's just randomly a level 32 scorpion here, okay. So after a bit more combat in a new area, now I actually became invincible. And now they can't hurt me.
That's why you ran my video flop, you have no ads and no bitches.
I mean, that's just uncalled for. Then I mined for a bit, but not too long because I realized I can't just power mine iron and drop all of my ores. I actually need to bank them so I can use them for smithing later. This means that I just wasted like 2 hours on my combat grind for no reason. The joys of RuneScape. The last time I played RuneScape, Varlamore didn't exist, so I ran around a bit exploring. And then I finally saw it. 2 maple trees in the same spot right next to a bank. And if this wasn't enough, I also have a mining area right next to the bank. This means that I can finally mine and deposit all of the ores that I mine for later. These maple trees made me think, wait, why don't I do what I did in my Minecraft video where I level up 3 skills at the same time? I could woodcut the trees, fletch them into bows, and then high alch them all at the same time. It's not efficient, but it is cool. So now it was time to level up woodcutting and fletching. As RuneScape players know, the best way to level up woodcutting early is to crip walk with the monk. Bro, what? 2k XP in my pocket. Then I continued smithing so I can get some arrows and continue fletching. And then I realized I need bars. And for that I need ores. You know, the same ones I've been dropping. If only we had a pre-mining guild mining spot next to a bank. And back to Valhalla we go. And this brought us to one of the most interesting programming challenges that I had in RuneScape. How do I make my character walk the whole distance without taking the same path multiple times? Which also includes clicking directly on the bank. I could just angle my camera in a specific way and make it click in the same place the same time and just offset it by a little bit randomly. But if the first click is random, my character is gonna end up in a different location. And then that's gonna offset the second click as well. So here's where it gets interesting. This is what my script actually sees. Jack shit. Normally when people make pathfinding, they use some sort of internal method to access the memory and see their surroundings. They get the actual data of the positions in the world and what's happening. Then they use some pathfinding algorithm to navigate that world. In my case, I'm not injecting into the game. I'm just looking at my screen. So until now, I only use specific positions and maybe pixel scanning. But now I need to make my script figure out where I am, where I need to move, and how to get there. And oh boy, did I have an idea for that one. The code is so cool for this. I wish I could show you. So RuneScape is a 3D game, but my mouse is a 2D 2D input. The only way that I can make this work is by turning RuneScape into a 2D game, and doing that is actually pretty easy. I just need to enable the camera plugin, which lets me move more freely and zoom out to the fucking stratosphere, and then I can right click the compass to look directly to a cardinal direction, and then just use arrow keys to max out my top-down angle. These two factors combined make it so that I'll have the exact same perspective every single time, so my 2D coordinate system is gonna be the same as the world system. Okay, what about the pathfinding and randomization and stuff? Well, now that I have the 2D setup, I can predict the positions and the camera placement. So I would have a list of preset locations that I could click on, and then each one of them would have a second click that corresponds to where it should actually click after the camera stabilizes. Click, wait, click again. That's one path. I have multiple ones, I just randomly select one of them. At least that's what I would have done a few years ago when my problem solving skills looked like this. Domain expansion. Profound mental retardation. But that method is pretty badly made and hyper-specific for this area, so instead I whipped out a banger solution. This composition is actually really complex and hard for computer vision to understand accurately. However, it doesn't really have any extreme colors, because that would hurt your eyes. So what I can do is just mark a tile, turn the color to a really crazy value, which isn't found anywhere else on the screen, and then just make it find that tile on the screen, click somewhere random in that area, wait until it reaches it, repeat for the next tiles, and there we go. The best thing about this is because I'm not using hard-coded coordinates, I can use it for anything else as well. This is just randomized pathfinding for anything I want. All I have to do is just mark the tiles. And then boom. Like, I actually spent more time making this than using it, but at least now I have a proper movement method. So now that I fixed my bar situation, I can finally turn them into arrows. I just need a bunch of feathers. Oh my god, I forgot the money. Oh. The mining guild has a spot with 3 ores right next to a chest. Not only will it be faster, but it's way easier to deposit. But I need level 60 to access it. With my current depositing method, I'm getting around 10k XP an hour, which is really bad. So I ran the power mining script for a while, which doesn't deposit ores, but at least it's closer to 40k an hour. While that was happening, I had to take my court mandated monthly shower. That was gonna be the last instance of hygiene for the next 32 days, because I will not tolerate XP waste. Then I boosted to level 60 and got into the mining guild, and now I can get the really good XP rates and deposit the ores at the same time. The only problem was that I couldn't actually equip my rune pickaxe. I could still use it, but I had to have it in my inventory. This would be more annoying to bank and it would make everything more inefficient. I need my attack level to be higher to be able to wield it. This time I trained attack on chickens with mining gear. Attack on chicken, and a few quests.
Get kicked, rookie.
Now I have to kill this guy, which has pretty high combat stats, but I measured exactly where I need to stand so he can't hit me. As long as I sit behind this tile, I'm gonna be safe. It takes ages to get back. Well, that was absolutely dreadful. After that I went back to mining, I got a ton of ores, and then I made a quick script for smithing. All of this was for dart tips, so I could make darts, train my fletching and my range later on. Then I needed some feathers, and to get money I stole a bunch of wines and sold them to the shop. Yes, we moved on from stealing copper wire, get with the program. Now I wanna do Wintertodt, but my fire making level is not high enough. So I chopped down some trees, made some fires, kept doing it for a while, and then it got really tedious. But then I remembered that a few years ago I used to do this on an island that had 2 thick trees, and it was quite a bit faster. So then when I nope, wrong island. So then when I got there, I actually realized that I can just use my mining script for this because it's pretty much the same. The scanning system is the same, and now that I have the pathfinding system, I can actually tell it to move over here, use that tile, and then do the fire making line down here. There were a few adjustments, and I also changed the inventory clearing to use image recognition, so it wouldn't bug out with special drops. And now I have a really cool fully automatic woodcutting and fire making system. Now I had the fire making level, so I needed some worm gear to get me into Wintertodt. The easiest way to do this is to start looking like a Linux user, which I did.
Oh yeah, that boy gay, I see that.
Then I had to actually walk all the way to Wintertodt, aka the middle of nowhere. And if I die, I have to do it again. I kinda forgot the way there, so I was kinda lost, and RuneScape players can probably see the issue here immediately. This is one of these situations. I didn't know which path to take, so I just went with the left one. The fuck are you smiling at? 90 fire making later, I took my rewards and got out of there. Then I gear up and proceed to kill the king's dog. To which he replies, "You did what? Are you a complete imbecile?" Before you complain about animal abuse, just know that that dog was a pedophile. This quest unlocked my favorite region. And then disaster struck. How? I'm 100% sure that my scripts are not detected. And I even named the group legit players to avoid all suspicion.
I may have used your mining script for 15 hours straight.
I didn't get banned myself, but the group got hit. Basically 3 people weren't playing legit. Me, the Gathering account, and some guy that was botting Hunter. It turns out that the Mining and the Hunter accounts went way too hard and they flagged the whole group. This also means that I got flagged and I'll probably get banned later on. RuneScape doesn't just do bans based on detections, they also look at like pattern and playtime and stuff like that. So if you play for too long, this happens. I don't really know why I did a group Iron Man. I kind of thought it would be more interesting, but pretty much nobody played after like 2 days. So it was just me. Anyway, back to the story. Let's not forget the master plan here. I already did the woodcutting and the fletching, now all I need is the high alching, which is a magic skill. And the best way to train my magic early on is with quests. Particularly this one, so let's get the requirements for it. I got 65 agility and enough coal to last me about 6 days, depending how hungry I get. Pickpocketing, potion making, and now it was time to kill a dragon. If you've been paying attention, you can see that I only have a rune pickaxe that is quite the big dragon and I don't have a lot of food. But don't worry, because there's a technique called flinching where I just need his HP bar to disappear after I hit him and then I can get another hit for free and just repeat. The only thing I need to do is just wait for the HP bar to disappear. The more astute of you might have noticed that I didn't let the HP bar disappear. The even more astute might have noticed that I fucking died. Because I'm playing an Iron Man, if somebody hits my monster, I don't get loot for it, indicated by this symbol. Okay, so this time I actually flinched him properly, until the bot ragged me. I guess I'll just take this. Oh, for fuck! So I've been flinching this dragon for 9 minutes straight. The bots don't really wander off here, so I should be safe from ragging. No. There's no way I'm gonna get ragged by a bear. Hi guys, it's me. Half an hour later, I killed the dragon. Woohoo! One of the requirements is an unfinished Guam potion, but I kind of accidentally used all of those while training Herblore. And the easiest way for me to get a Guam leaf right now is by either doing even more Wintertodt or just simply killing this creature that's right next to spawn. So I'm just gonna kill the creature, cause that's easier. Surely it is, and it's not gonna send me on a 1-hour side quest. But it's very dark in there, so I'm required to take a light source. The problem is that there's gas in there, so if I take this guy's overpriced candle, it's gonna go... So I need to have a covered light source, so I decided to just make a lantern. But I need to get my crafting up for the lantern, so I spent about an hour getting my crafting up. Then I had to get the lamp fuel from the other side of the map, and then I got a mandatory Slayer helmet for it as well. 1 hour side quest complete, I can finally kill the wall beast and get my herb. Why isn't it working? You know what, I'm not even mad. Back to Wintertodt. And now lastly I need some bat bones, and for those I decided to go in the only dungeon that has no bats. At this point I finally started doing the quest and I realized that all of this time combined I could have just been training magic and it would have been much faster, but you live you learn, you know. This guy is so tanky that I've legit been hitting him for maybe 12 minutes straight. But at least he can't really kill me and I only have to get him once, so as long as someone doesn't track me, it's fine.
Bombastic side-eye. Criminal offensive side-eye.
No way you're gonna be that cringe. Don't hit it, I've been doing this for like fucking half an hour. Oh, he might not be a subhuman. Well, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And so the grind that took half a day is finally over, and it got me about 1 hour of magic training XP. Yeah. Now I'm gonna head to the wilderness to get even more magic XP by training on dragons. The cool thing about these is that they drop bones which I can bury for a lot of prayer XP. Normally this would be a dangerous activity because I could die to other players and lose all my stuff, but no one really goes in the wilderness, especially not these areas. So now I wanted to die to reset and deposit all my items, and then I got off on 1 HP. I proceeded to ignore this big dog and just pick berries right in front of him. My sheer audacity left him absolutely flabbergasted and completely speechless beyond any measure. He was so shocked he couldn't even attack me anymore. He was just running around in circles. He was absolutely baffled. Never in his entire life has he ever seen something like this. And now I can finally cast High Alchemy, which means that I can finally do my triple scaling money making method. Woohoo! Then I did a bunch of mining, agility, smithing, woodcutting, and I got pretty rich. This video took over a month and a half to make. I don't think it's gonna get promoted by the algorithm, and my channel is kinda dying. So if you enjoyed it, I'd appreciate it if you could share it with people that might also like it. Maybe even check out my other videos. If you wanna try RuneScape yourself, you definitely should. Just install RuneLite, check out some quality of life plugins, do a bunch of quests, and get yourself going. I played this game for thousands of hours back in like 2020, and it's actually really fun even without any sort of programming. In fact, that's how most of my playtime went. If you don't have the time to grind for too long, you can also do Melver Idle, which is kind of like a RuneScape idle game. I've been playing it recently, it's pretty cool. And yeah, thanks for making it all the way to this point.